Welcome to Real Talk for Real Teens, hosted by Kim Creighton, the show where we uniquely combine the information teens need with the information teens want. Welcome, guys, to Real Talk for Real Teens. I am your host, Kim Creighton, speaking to you live with January Blue, our musical artist for the night. January, please introduce yourself to my audience. Give me just a second, guys, because the call dropped.
Hello.
Hi, January.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I think it dropped.
All right, that's fine. Just introduce yourself to the audience, January.
Okay. Hi. My name is January Blue. I am an actress and a singer, songwriter, recording artist, and I have my new single out right now on iTunes. It's called Trip to the Moon by January Blue. So go out and get it. It's a feel-good song, great for, beginning of fall, rolling down the windows and the sun shining on you, and just kind of a feel-good, happy love song. Everyone loves those, right?
Well, we'll be listening to Trip to the Moon very shortly. So tell us about yourself. You said you're an actor, singer. So tell us, how did you get started? Give us a little history on your kind of music. Just you. Let everybody know who introduced everybody to January.
Okay.
Let's start with the name. January Blue. That's a great place to start.
I know, isn't it fun? I love it. My parents, they were kind of hippies. And they actually saw this movie in the late 70s called Once Is Not Enough, and the main character's name is January. And it just kind of stuck with them, and then they had me, and then I happened to be born in January, and they just thought it was perfect. So it all kind of worked out. They planned it, though, so it wasn't just an accident. I didn't just come out, and they were like, oh, we'll name her January.
That was serendipitous.
So it was planned.
Okay. Good.
Yep,
okay.
and, my dad was in a band, and he's a musician, so I was just used to kind of, being around, music, songwriting, sitting on the piano with him while he's, writing another song, and it's just, I've always kind of had it within me. And then I think I was about 8 years old, I saw The Sound of Music performed live with a children's theater. And I looked at my mom after it was done, and I was just like, this is where I need to be. This is my home. And I think literally a couple weeks after, I auditioned for the next musical that they were doing. And I got in, and it was just kind of took off from there. And I did about 3 musicals a year, and then I started to do adult theater and things that I was getting paid for, and then I started realizing that this could be something I do with the rest of my life. And then I auditioned for this hip-hop kids group called the JammXkids, and we had some WB specials with Queen Latifah and Randy Jackson, and we had, a bunch of celebrities on it, and we were trying to send out a message to people to get off the couch and dance, and I felt really strongly about that because I've been dancing my whole life, and it's made me who I am, and it's healthy, and it's fun, and it's a good way to connect with people. So, it's still a message that I'm trying to bring out in my music as an artist alone. So, yeah, it's been a fun journey.
So you're one of those people they call the triple threat. You dance, you sing, and you act.
That's what they call me, yes. And I also write. So sometimes it's called a quadruple threat.
Wow, yeah.
But that's
exactly.
going really far.
So how old are you, January?
I'm in my early 20s. So I've had some experience.
And so, exactly. So I know one of the things you're really passionate about is the topic of bullying. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yes, it is a topic that is very dear to my heart. I actually experienced bullying in middle school just because, I had a really high voice in middle school. I can laugh about it now. But then, it was hard because I would be made fun of for my voice and how small I was. And, I was a singer, and I was just kind of different than everyone else in my school. And they didn't really, I know it wasn't meant to hurt anyone. They were just young kids being insecure and that happens, but I took it to heart, and I feel like I didn't have an outlet to talk about it with anyone, and I, struggled with that. I was embarrassed almost that I was being bullied, and I didn't tell my family or my friends, and but, I dealt with it later in life, and I think it's so important for kids to know that, they're not alone, and to have outlets to be able to talk to people, because it can be really dark times when you're just holding all of that in, and you don't feel like you have anyone to talk to. So definitely very passionate about that.
And it's always so interesting how when young people talk about that, or people period talk about bullying or feeling isolated or feeling that it's kind of starts in that middle school area.
It does, and that's I think actually when it's the worst, because everyone's trying to figure out who they are, and it's so confusing.
Exactly, and you hit the nail on the head. Everybody, that's when your body's changing, your voice is changing, you're getting pubic hair, you don't know what's going on. These young girls are getting their menstrual cycle. These boys are having, they're waking up wet in the middle of the night. All these things going on. They have acne.
Things are happening.
Yeah,
right? It's not cute.
Is happening. And it's uncomfortable. Your body hurts, because particularly boys, their bones are growing, and they're just in pain, and it's just a very awkward time, and no one wants to be that. And that's really when you get into that place, when you start in that place where everybody wants to look alike and be alike. And so your body,
you all are wearing the same brands and everything.
Exactly.
I remember that.
Exactly. Your body's doing these crazy, weird things, and all you want to do is blend in with your family, your friends. You do not want to stand out at all. And so it becomes.
And then sometimes you do, even when you try all of those things. Some people still stand out, and those are usually the ones that get bullied, and it's something you can't necessarily prevent.
And it's so funny, because even the bullies are insecure themselves, or they wouldn't be doing it. I mean, a very secure person would not intentionally just start picking on somebody and harassing people. That's just not how people who are secure with themselves behave. And so it's like everybody's just in this. Yeah, so everybody's just in this gross stage, don't know what to do. And it just comes out in middle school, and that's one reason I'm a former teacher. I did not like middle school kids. I liked high school kids, because at least I can have a conversation with you. Middle school kids, you popping up at the lip, you think you're smart, but then someone says something, the first thing you do is cry. It's like, wait a minute, you're being bad.
Oh, yeah, they're a bunch of emotional messes. I mean.
Exactly.
And then they're all taking it out on each other. It's like so confusing.
Yes.
If we all just had a dialogue and knew what was actually happening, or someone to talk to, I feel like, I don't know, we could at least try to prevent it.
Yeah.
And the thing I think everyone's just so afraid to talk about it.
Well, also, when you're in something, you don't recognize it. So if you're in that development stage, you don't have the capacity to realize, oh, this is just a stage I'm going through. You don't understand that. You don't have the cognitive development and all that. You just know that the cool kids are doing this. So even if, and that's the thing, the majority of the kids is going with the flow, don't want to go with the flow. They hate what's going on, but they're not brave enough, don't have the courage enough to say, hey, don't do that. Because
I was one of those kids, and then I became the one who's being bullied. I remember I was in this big group of girls, and for some reason we were picking on one of the girls in our group and kind of kicked her out, and I didn't really say anything. I wasn't really the one participating, but again, I didn't say anything, so I felt responsible almost, but I didn't, at the same time, I didn't want to, stand out. Exactly. I just wanted to blend in, make my life would be easier, but then at the same time, I was the next target. So
exactly. Oh yeah, because when one's kicked out, somebody has to take the place. Somebody has to now be the person that becomes the target of everything. And I'm glad you can speak so eloquently about it, because I was people just used to say I was weird. I think people just kind of left me alone. There were girls who tried, and that was just, I just remember that just high school wasn't fun for me either. I just remember oh God, I just want this to be over. It was just all just a gross, disgusting. It's like, oh, when would this whole thing be over.
I know, right? But when you're in it, you don't see that, and you think it's the whole world and more.
Exactly.
And if you're not cool, or if you're not wearing this or dressing like this, and I remember I was actually filming the JammXkids, so I was homeschooled for a little bit, and then I came back. And I remember after coming back from that, I go, why was I trying to look like these people and act like these people? I'm my own person, and I realized that, and everyone, I don't know, everyone kind of actually accepted me. Because I accepted myself.
Once you got apart from it for a while, you come back, you're like, why the hell was I trying to get, what was that?
Right.
Where was
a little perspective and
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you realize that there's a bigger world besides this group of people.
Exactly.
So we're about to take our first break, so why don't you introduce your first song?
Okay, perfect. This is my new single on iTunes right now. It is called Trip to the Moon. Hope you like it.
Follow us on Facebook and YouTube at Real Talk for Real Teens and on Twitter at RTFRT Radio. All right, guys, welcome back. That was January Blues, Trip to the Moon. My foot was over here tapping. It's January.
Oh, fun. That's what I wanted it to do.
So tell us about what are you up to? What are you planning? How do you see your career going? What's your hopes?
What I'm planning right now is doing a music video for Trip to the Moon in about a week with a bunch of friends of mine, which is so much fun collaborating. You live in LA and you just make connections. I'm collaborating with such amazing people who are friends, and we're going to make this awesome video and put it up online so people can get, a little bit more familiar with who I am. I'm also a dancer, so I can showcase that, and an actress. So that'll be, the combination of my singing, acting, and dancing, which will be so much fun. And then also I'm getting back in the studio and finishing up some new tracks to, bring out to the world, getting a band together, starting to perform live. So my hope is just to, slowly gain a following and be able to go out and perform and, speak with people and get my message out there. My message is I just want to spread joy and love and positivity and, awareness. I think it's so important to just, talk about your journey and the mistakes you've made and, getting back up and trying again. And I'm just a human being, and I have flaws, but I think it's so important to just talk about that with people and relate and connect. And that's just what I'm trying to do here with my music and my acting and all of my entertainment stuff.
And so so you don't see yourself at this moment targeting one thing. You're going to continue to do all three, all four.
Yes, definitely. I think they will help each other. So I don't think I'm ever going to stop doing one thing or the other. Maybe something will hit before, the acting or the singing, but I think they're all kind of piggybacking on each other, and they make me a better artist. So I want to definitely bring all of that to the table because that's everything that I am.
Well, tell me what a typical day for January Blue is like. Since you have all these things that you're doing, how does your day go? How do you get the practice in? How do you get the time in? How do you perfect your passion?
Well, I definitely practice. I have been in voice lessons my whole life, dance lessons, acting lessons. I'm constantly just working on my craft because it's like anything. If you don't use it, you will lose it. So even if I'm not, recording every day that week or busy auditioning or filming, I have to keep myself busy almost as if I am so that I keep getting stronger. So when those opportunities do come or I create those opportunities, I'll be more than ready. So, I wake up, I'm turning into a little bit of a yogi. I think it helps center me in this city that is very busy. It calms me down a little bit, brings me back to what I'm really here to do. And then definitely in the recording studio or a dance lesson or an acting lesson, or I'm just hanging out with my friends. I have a lot of friends, and I think it's important to work hard and play hard. So definitely when I have that time, I'm always with my family, laughing, watching our favorite TV shows, hiking, sailing, anything to gain experience so that I can put that experience into my art.
Oh, I love that. I love that you see having a broader view, gaining new experiences as a part of the development for you as an artist, and not something extra, not this thing that means you'll continue to have interest beyond what you're already interested in, just so that because it all benefits you.
Exactly. And that's where we get art is, our surroundings, nature and human connection and things like that. So if you're not experiencing it, then I would feel almost like a fraud talking about it and singing about it and, acting out certain stories. So I think it's so important to still have that element of humanity.
And I love I have an inner yogi that's been trying to get out for several years now, and I just...
They always try, and then it'll hit sometime.
Oh, my God. And when it's so interesting because I prefer the morning, and I know it's a mental block. I know it is. I've never been a physical person. Even when I was younger, I never liked playing sports. I climbed trees and all that. I was a tomboy for organized sports or people telling me what, and I think that has something to do with it. People telling me I have to do, no, I don't have to play this game, but if you want me to play it, I'm going to play it to lose. So I'm just going to let you know I'm going to piss you off.
You were that person?
Yeah, I was that person. And so and it's funny because when I'm doing yoga, I actually enjoy it. I am not focused. Like when I go to the gym and all that, I hate it. I'm just there the whole time, just cussing and just. Oh my God, it's not just. I just hate it. I'm on the treadmill just cussing the whole time. I'm just like, oh, I hate this shit. That used to be my mantra. I hate this shit. I hate this shit. I used to be on the treadmill, and I know people were like, what in what? That was my mantra. But when I do yoga,
they're like, is she talking to the treadmill?
Exactly. When I do yoga, it's just like, okay, I can do it. But for some reason, I have this block that I haven't been able to figure out how to be consistent. So I just forgive myself and get up and try again, Well,
that's all you can do, because that's the hardest part about yoga or any practice is being consistent, because I was terrible at yoga at the beginning. Even though I have a dance background, the moves and the balances and just the strength and flexibility that it needs, I didn't have at the time. And it took me a good year of inconsistently going to finally just basically make myself go until I wake up every morning and I need to go because it's just part of who I am now. So
and that's what my friends say. That's what their friends say. Yeah, they really feel like out of sorts if they don't do it. And the funny thing though, I have a friend who's a yoga teacher, and she was she's giving me lessons, and she's like, you do it so naturally. I am a natural at it. My body just really takes to it.
Wow, what are you doing?
Yes.
I'm jealous.
My body takes to it. I might not have the balance pose correct, but I can get up there. I might not be able to hold it, but I can. My body just stacks really well in the poses.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's just like, God, I can't. You come to it really naturally. And I was just like, yeah, but I know it's just my own thing. And again, talking about development or whatever, it takes time. I just got to love myself through it, accept that, hey, today just wasn't the day, and tomorrow will be, and just accept that and move forward.
Exactly, and just keep trying, keep getting up and trying, because trust me, I was there a year ago. I get it.
Yeah, that's what when I hear these stories, they are my inspiration. Like, okay, I can do it. I can get up. I can do it. I can do it. I can make it happen.
And and it comes naturally to you. For me, I was like, ugh, each pose was just hard. It was.
Well, I'm not gonna say it's not hard. It's not. But for me, it's not that the pose is hard. It's that my stamina. That's what gets me at times. But
and you only gain that by practice, so.
Yes, exactly. Those are things that I know that will come over time. And so I really appreciate when people are, and for me, it's really more of, that's one reason I don't like the gym and all that, because it's just about, weight gain, the body image. But for me, when I'm doing yoga, it's very meditative. My mind clears, I'm smiling.
Absolutely. And, you have a mantra throughout the entire practice, and you leave there feeling like a weight lifted off your shoulders, and you're just ready for the day, whatever it brings, and you're not like, I don't know, there's no tension in your shoulders, and you're not fighting anything, you're just being, and I love that.
Yeah, it's not that pain, no gain crap, which I can never.
No,
I'm like, dude,
you can't do it, go into child's pose. My child's pose is my favorite pose. I definitely use that pose as much as possible.
Yeah, child, and I do like down dog.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I like down dog. I can actually relax in down dog.
That means you're stronger than you think. So, because a lot of people have trouble with down dog because of their wrists.
Yeah, well, see, I've learned. I've done a lot of research about that because my wrists were hurting. So I've done about how I've watched some videos and stuff about how to actually, instead of putting the tension on my wrist part, but how to do it. But down dog doesn't do that for me. That doggone plank is what kills me.
But that's all your stomach, so that just takes practice and time.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't gotten there yet.
But, you know,
well, Ms.
I believe in you.
Yeah. Thank you. It's been great talking to you, Miss January. Let's introduce your last song. And what you tell us before we leave, before you do that, give us all your contact information. How can we get in contact with you? How can we find you? How can we follow you? Give us all that information. And then you introduce your last song.
Well, if Facebook is probably the best for following my music. It's January Blue. Just search January Blue fan page, and it will have all my latest updates, my interviews. You know, I'll put this interview on it next, and you'll be able to listen to my songs and look at my pictures, get a feel for who I really am, and see my bio. And then also I have a Twitter account. It's January Songs. And then also I have an Instagram. If you want to follow me, I have fun with pictures, another artistic side of myself, and that's with my middle name, January Christine, with a K. So if you want to get to know me a little bit more, none of my sites are private, so just come on and join the fun. And also you can buy Trip to the Moon right now on Amazon and iTunes. So after this interview, go on iTunes or Amazon, whatever's easiest for you, and type in Trip to the Moon by January Blue, and you'll be able to buy it 99 cents. That's all it is. And then also, sorry, you have no excuse, right? I want everyone to be able to listen to my music, no matter who you are, where you live, how much money you have. It is for everyone. And then this next song that we are going to play is perfect, actually, for what we were just talking about. It's called Everything Changes, and it's just about, accepting the change and going with the flow and just trying to learn from all your experiences and not, resisting any change, because life changes every day. The internet and everything is just getting more complicated, and just, try to stay in the moment and be yourself and see where life takes you.
Well, thank you, Ms. January Blue, for being on the show. We're going to play Everything Changes, and I wish you much luck and success in your future and in your career, and I look forward to hearing from you, hearing that you're doing big things.
Okay, perfect. Can't wait to talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Just wait a while and let yourself
Thank you for listening, and please join us each and every Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more real talk for real teens.